Hi there, I thought I'd just have a quick discussion about people losing money to their driving instructors. So they may be paid for lessons and then those lessons don't go ahead and the driving instructor doesn't give them a refund. Think carefully about the driving instructor you choose for your lessons. Don't just go for the cheapest possible driving instructor. They might be okay, but they might not be reliable, I don't know. But basically research. So look at their reviews, maybe get a recommendation for an instructor that you know is going to be reliable and trustworthy. If you're struggling to find a recommended driving instructor, then perhaps the best idea is you could potentially go to a big driving school. Because the idea of a big driving school, because there's a big driving school involved, they might be able to help you if something goes wrong with that instructor. Maybe they'll be able to get you another instructor that works for that company. But that would only work if you pay via the driving school. If you pay direct to the driving instructor, it's between you and the driving instructor. So if that driving instructor messes you around, the big driving school can't help you. So if you're going for a big driving school, good idea to pay via the big driving school. Then you're covered if something goes wrong. Do be careful though, if you go for a big driving school, they may well have trainee instructors. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say a trainee instructor is bad. They might be perfectly good and really work for you and be really good. I was a trainee driving instructor at one point, and probably a lot of driving instructors out there were a trainee at one point. But do just be careful, some trainee instructors might never be able to pass their final tests, and they might never become a fully qualified instructor. So on those lessons with you, when they're a trainee, they might not be the best quality lessons. And the issue as well is, if you pay for a block of lessons, you might not get that full block. If they fail their tests and they can't then help you anymore after the point, they might not give you a refund. I know when I was a trainee driving instructor, I would have quite happily given people a refund if I failed my tests, but that's just me personally. Some trainee driving instructors might not have the money, they might just forget, they just might just not give you the refund. To identify a trainee driving instructor, look for their instructor license in their window. If it's a triangle and it's an orangey red colour, then they're a trainee driving instructor. If they're fully qualified, it'd be a green badge with, I believe, it's an octagon shape. And if they're a fully qualified driving instructor, there should, I'm not saying they will, but there should be less chance of them bailing on you and then not giving you a refund for the lessons that you're owed. But of course, do bear in mind, a fully qualified driving instructor could do that same thing. That's why you want to make sure you're going to a trustworthy and reliable driving instructor. When you're paying for your lessons, I'd suggest for the first few lessons you pay as you go, rather than paying for a block up front. The idea being, you just get to know the instructor for those first few lessons to see how you get on with them and see how trustworthy you think they are. Because we like to think they'd be trustworthy, but in all honesty, you don't know that driving instructor, they're a stranger to you. If you do make a payment by block, for example, you pay for 10 hours, I'd want to get a receipt from the driving instructor. A good driving instructor should be quite happy to give you a receipt if you request it. It's also a good idea to make the payments through bank transfer or PayPal, so you've got proof that you've paid them. If you just pay by cash, there's no proof you've paid them unless of course you get that receipt. It would also be a good idea to take note of when you've taken your lessons. So your instructor perhaps might give you a progress book, and in that you'll both sign when the lesson goes ahead. It's a good idea for you to keep hold of that or make your own progress record, just so you know when you've taken the lessons. It is of course best though to make sure you both sign that document confirming which lessons have gone ahead, so no one can debate anything. The instructor can't say to you, oh, you've already done 10 hours, when they've only signed to say you've done 8 hours. Or the other way round. You can't be saying to your instructor, oh, I've only done 8 hours, yet you've signed to say you've done 10 hours. So what do? If you pay for 10 hours, you've only done 4 hours with that driving instructor, and then they've bailed on you, and they're not getting in touch. You text them saying, I want to do the rest of my lessons, or can I have a refund because you're not getting back to me, not doing the lessons, and they don't get back to you. One option you have potentially got is to go to the small claims call. Now, if your claim is for up to £300, it costs £25 to make that claim online. I'll leave a link in the description. So you've got to decide whether it's worthwhile or not. Is it worthwhile paying £25 to make a claim if, for example, you're only owed £30? Probably not. But if you're owed maybe a few £100, it might be worth making that claim. But of course, do bear in mind, it is a bit of hassle. You've got to fill out all the forms, and then probably the courts will get back to you, and just a bit of hassle. So you've got to decide whether it's worth doing or not. But I wouldn't necessarily just completely write it off saying I'm just going to have to ignore that, because then that driving instructor might do the same thing to another pupil, another pupil, another pupil, and they can't do that. We can't have driving instructors going around and just basically taking money off people and they're not delivering the lessons.